10 more minutes, my dear friends. Be with your breath. Final 3 minutes, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. Final 30 seconds, my dear friends. Just be with your breath. Okay, friends. Slowly place both your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And now slowly take off your hands and open your eyes with a big smile. Over to you, Rupaji. Yeah, she's muted. Rupaji is muted. Make
Okay, I'm good now.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining this session on Whispers of Wisdom Reflections from the Master's Life. This is day 3 of the 11-day session that we are doing on 18 guiding principles of PSSM. We will be going over the principles of PSSM, and the masters will be sharing their experiences with Patriji. And today we have two masters, Sreekanth Garla and Anila Garla. We have a lot to ask them. We have a lot to learn from them because they have met Patriji for a very long time. And before we soak in their wisdom, let's go over the principles of PSSM. The last 2 days we covered 6 principles, and as I mentioned yesterday, the first 6 principles we divided the 18 principles into 3 categories. The first category is where you have to do you have to follow certain principles every day so that you kickstart your spiritual journey. The second category is where you get to know the do's and don'ts of the spiritual journey as given by Patriji. The last 6 principles will help us evolve. If we follow these principles, it will help us evolve to the next level. Having said that, um, let I will go over the principles, the first 6 principles really quickly, and then we'll do 2 principles today. The next 2 principles. The reason I'm going over these principles is because these principles will has to become a habit. The more we hear, the it will increase our retention. Like there are so many principles that again and again we listen to these principles. It settles in our brain and it becomes a habit. Like I was thinking of giving an example. Like for example, you are in a group setting. You're in a conversation with, say, non-meditators. If these principles are in has been ingrained in you, you will realize, let me not gossip too much, let me not speak too much, and if it doesn't concern me, I'm not speaking at all. This is one of the principles. So that's the reason I want, by the time the 11 day 10 days, 11 days, you should have known these principles. That's the only reason I am, and I'm going to be very quick because we want to um, hear to the masters as well. Masters, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Masters, very quickly, I'll go over the first 6 principles. Again, as I said, these are the basic principles which can kickstart your spiritual journey. And I will go over them really quickly because we have discussed them the last 2 days. The very first principle being meditate the right way, the Anapana Sati way, where we sit in the comfortable position, clasp our hands, and cross our legs, and we observe our breath. No asanas, no pranayama methods, just breath is our guru, and we observe this. And the second principle is reading the right spiritual books. We read books written by our Western masters, written by our Eastern masters. And if there are books written in English and there is somebody who cannot read the English language, Patriji has gone to the extent of translating many books into different languages like Telugu, Hindi. I know that there are some Kannada books as well. It is in the last 2 days, we spoke to two masters and we realized the importance of reading the book. On the first day, we had Arun Master. He gave us wisdom for which we have to go back to our books and gain more wisdom to understand this. But he gave us an insight into different dimensions, and this wisdom can be gained by reading books. By we can meditate, we can gain our cosmic energy, but books will give us the right wisdom. And yesterday we have Lavanya ma'am, who read the book The Secret, and you heard her how she manifested so many things in her life. So masters, read books every day at least 10 minutes. Read books, and there is a very comprehensive list of books that is recommended by Patriji on our website. So, and in case you need any translated book, you can reach out to any of the masters. And the third principle is sharing spiritual experiences with everyone that who is interested. I have stressed this time and again, even on the first day. You don't share your spiritual experiences with a non-meditator or somebody who's not interested, because they're only going to pull your energy back. Share your experiences with other masters. And when you hear experiences from other masters, it is a motivation for you to increase your meditational timings. And also it's like a motivation. Like we see masters, the two masters that are here today. I see them and I'm like, this is exactly the result of years and years of meditation. That calmness, that the way they go about life with so much zest, all that comes with years and years of meditation. And only when you hear to the spiritual practices or spiritual experiences of others, you realize I have so much more to do. And what I have, like, I would think, oh, I'm so good. I can meditate so much. I can meditate for 4 or 5 hours. But then when you hear somebody else, that's when my spiritual ego is like slashed. So that's another reason why we have to hear to others' meditational experiences. One, to gain motivation. Two, if you are riding high, your spiritual ego is slashed. And the fourth principle is mauna. Spend as much time in mauna and speak only when it is necessary. And do not, if something doesn't involve you, do not speak about it. Worldly gossip is absolutely forbidden. Why? Because we sit in meditation, we get cosmic energy, and we don't want to lose our energy in unwanted gossip. There is we the cosmic energy that we derive in our meditation. We have to spend it like gold, silver, money. That it is that valuable. We sit in meditation. We take the time off to sit in meditation, and we get that energy. Why spend it? Because we need that energy to heal ourselves. We need that energy. We cannot spend it in gossip. So silence, at least maybe a couple of minutes every day, will go a long way. And we also spoke about the full moon meditation. And as Patriji said, treat every full moon every month as Shivratri. Don't sleep. Meditate for 3 hours, take a break, come back, meditate again. Don't sit on the bed. Keep your back straight, meditate. So we treat full moon meditation as Shivratri. That means he meant is like meditate. Make use of uh, the full moon. If you can meditate outside, much better. And he spoke about, and the sixth principle is to use the pyramid energy. The pyramid, all the pyramids are like the um, energy banks. We can draw energy from them. And he said, either if you want, you can sit inside the pyramid. If you want, you can sit outside the pyramid. It is just the same because the energy is so good that even if you're inside the pyramid or outside, that's fine, as long as you're around the pyramid. And um, we let's this is the recap of everything that we did the last 2 days. We go to the next two principles. Give up psychological dependence on medicine. Only meditational energy heals. Patriji says, no doctor, no medicine. And there is one phrase that PMC Gujarat has done. It is called Goli ko Goli Maro. I love that. Goli ko Goli Maro. So, um, medicines were not going to heal you, but the cosmic energy that you derive through meditation is going to heal you. There was a time when my blood work did not seem so good, and one of the Syrian masters said, all that energy that you have been getting through meditation has been leaking out. That's why you have all these issues. That's when I realized the energy that I get through meditation, I have to conserve it and use it for my physical healing. Medicines are not going to heal me. And also, what Patriji says is, if it is something related to your eyes, if it is something related to a bone fracture, yes, you have to go to the doctor, but not otherwise. And couple of years back, I read a book. It is a book by, she's a lady monk, and her name is Maya Tiwari. She has written a book named, she has written many books, but the book that I read was The Path of Practice. She was a very full-fledged, she had a full-fledged career in glamour, um, media, glamour, and she was doing very well. Money was not an issue, but her mental health was an issue, and she was diagnosed with cancer. She went through many rounds of therapy, chemotherapy, and all other rounds, but nothing helped her. What she decided is the last few days, she said, forget about it. I'm going to stop every medicine, every therapy right now. And what she did was she went into woods, and I do not remember which particular national forest or national park or where she went, but she took a log cabin, stayed there for up to 6 months, all by herself, no contact with the outside world, all by herself in the nature, and no medicines, and she experimented with Ayurvedic herbs, and she would cook for herself. She would cook all plant-based medicines, and she would meditate for hours and hours and hours. After 6 months, she came back, and she was completely cancer-free. So that's when she realized she needs to tell this to everybody. What I did in those days when I was in the log cabin all by myself, all I did was I did not take any medicine. None of the therapies worked. I stopped all the medicine, and I'm now healed of cancer. Why? So what I realized when I read that book, I did not realize, but when I'm trying to connect that her story with the guiding principles, I realized that Patriji says, be close to the nature. She just gave up everything and she stayed close to the nature. Patriji said, vegetarianism. So she was completely on plant-based food. She was experimenting with Ayurvedic herbs and medicines, and um, she was cooking for herself, and she had all these masalas. You can read that book. She very neatly explains how she enjoyed cooking. She loved cooking. She put her heart and soul into cooking. And so she practiced vegetarianism, and then she meditated, and she used the cosmic energy to heal herself. That is such an inspirational story. It was an inspirational story for me back then, but now since I'm connecting the guiding principles and her story together, it gives me an insight into what cosmic energy can do to you. So Patriji says, not just dependence on medicine, Just don't depend on anything. Just give up dependency. Give up dependency on the guru also, because you are guru by yourself. You are a master by yourself. You are God by yourself. So just stop all dependency. And dependency on medicine? No. Unless and until it is life threatening, you could. But for all small things, you do not have to go and take the help of the medicine. I have sat through sessions when PMC Gujarat did Goli Ko Goli Maro. Um, it's like holistic health beyond plant-based diet, and your kitchen is your medicine. Your kitchen is your pharmacy. They say things like that, and it is very inspiring. I can go back and look there, but they were also following Patriji's principle, which says no medicines, no doctor, no medicines. With that, we come to the eighth guiding principle. I hope I'm audible. With that, I come to the eighth principle, that is, be a vegetarian. No meat, no fish, no eggs, no garlic either. So I've heard many stories about Patriji. He would not. He is a vegetarian. He would not touch meat, but at the same time, um, I there was a master who had invited him to come and give a meditational session and teach meditation to a couple of people, and this was arranged in a hotel conference room, and the food was arranged there. And Patriji came there. He said, "I'm not going to do this session here." She said, "Why?" She said, "In this place, the kitchen where you have arranged food for me, that is not a kitchen where it is not a sattvic kitchen. The meat has been cooked because it is a, what do you call that, home science college, like where they experiment with all kinds of meat also." So he refused to do it there. So that's how strict he was, and there's a reason why. There's a reason why he was very particular about a vegetarian diet, because not only is he talking about non-violence, he's also telling you that your gut matters when you're meditating. Your gut health matters for your when you're meditating. When I have experimented, I have meditated when I was eating meat, and then I gave it up, and then I meditated when I was a vegetarian. There is a lot of difference. You feel more energized, you have more energy, and your meditational experiences are much, much better. And I and um the the vegetarian food helps to clean up. Like, for me, the gut health, I have realized over the years, over past couple of years, I have been trying to streamline. Like, okay, just because I'm vegetarian, it just doesn't mean that there is a little bit of discipline involved. And because with that discipline, with vegetarian food, your gut health will be streamlined so well, and that will help to have beautiful meditational experiences, and that will has a direct impact on your third eye as well. So your instinct, everything stems from here. So that's the reason Patriji says be vegetarian. No eggs, no garlic. Experiment, and before you believe this, experiment. So any questions about the first eight principles? I'm ready to take it before we go to our masters. Okay, I think there are no questions. So let me introduce you to two masters, two great masters, two great Atlanta masters, Sreekanth Garla and Anila Garla. Um, you must have seen them in all our gatherings. Sreekanth Garla, he's IT architect by profession, but his passion lies in teaching and spreading meditation. he is so passionate about this. It is visible on in when we see him, it's visible. His passion is just visible in their faces, on their faces. So, and he's so passionate, and he has organized events, and he has been instrumental um, in in the pyramid conference that took place in Chicago. He has been very instrumental in getting that happen, and also the Vegetarian Vision conference that happened in Raleigh, I think. He has been very instrumental in that, and he has been very actively involved in the Mega Meditation Summit that took place in Dallas and Raleigh. And I have personally seen how involved he was in Mega Meditation 3 at Los Angeles. Hats off to his involvement. He continues, I think, he has the decades of service he has, and he still continues to help everybody who is a seeker. And can't wait to hear from him. And before we let them take it over, let me go ahead and introduce Anila Garla, who's also a pyramid master, and she and her family started the first meditation center in Atlanta, the Buddha Pyramid Center. We all have been there, at least I have been there. It's a blessed house. It's a meditation center. A lot of visitors from India have visited them, and they conduct regular meditation sessions. They are very good hosts, thanks to them. And she has been meditating for more than 20 years now. And as I said, um, it like I have seen them, and I've told myself years of meditation can do this to you too. So keep that going. Thank you so much, Masters, for joining us today. And Sreekanth Garla and Anil Garla, before you share your experience with Patriji, I just have one request. Today we covered one principle where Patriji says, no doctor, no medicine. So if you both can give your experience, how you were able to um, uh, follow this principle, and has it helped you? If you're able to give this, if you're able to say a little bit on this principle, and then you can share your experiences too. Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
Thank you, Rupa, for introducing us. Are you able to hear, right? Yeah. So in this medicine, from past 20 years, we did not take any medicine. Mostly for the physical health also, we will refuse to go to the doctors. So it's we are following the same principle as Patriji's principle.
you. Okay.
So,
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, I'd like to pay my gratitudes to our Grand Master, Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji. Yeah. And thank you very much, Rupaji, for a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Lakshmi Garu, for arranging this beautiful platform, because uh, these sessions are on our Grandmaster Patriji, right? So how much ever we talk, how many times ever we talk, we are never bored about it, and we always have joy in expressing our relationship with him, mm, our the love what he shares to all of us, and it's always great pleasure to share. So before we go to that session for your question, I'd like to give example of my parents, right? Because we, at least a little younger, I would say, my parents, they are 85, my father, and 76, my mom, and they have been without medicine for past about 25 years now. So, and they practice meditation, they're the people who taught us. So if they can do at this age, then it is really working, right?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, and I've also seen Patri sir living to that example, not caring about his life situation, because this is just a small reason for him to uh, get back to his his astral work, and he chose this, right? But a lot of people encourage saying you could do more work here if you heal it, but he said no, I do not want to use medicine, and he lived with that example of whatever he's preaching, and he's doing a lot more work astrally, as we all know, right? Since he had a physical barrier when he was in a body, now there is no that physical boundary. So yeah, hats off to him to live up to that example of whatever he's preaching, and all the principles, all the things, whatever he's teaching or whatever he's preaching, he lives with it. We are not just following him or learning from his what his teachings are. We are learning from what he is doing, right? That's where we get connected. Whatever he preaches, we see him in that example as him. So that is where the connection is. Otherwise, for preachers, there are so many preachers around. You can search and you can get a lot of inspirational talks, all that, but we do not have a person who lives with that example, and we have seen him. So for your question, hope I answered that.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So now coming to this session, friends, uh, what we have talked through is first I talk a little bit and then give it to Anila. So hope it is okay from that perspective, because I'll talk little basics and she'll talk about a concept, right? So so what we are talking about is not just a human being, my dear friends. He's a person who came from different worlds. So if we talk about, we are now in a planet Earth, right? And uh, which is in a universe, and then galaxy, and then Milky Way, right? And similarly, there are multiple galaxies, as we know because of reading the books. Uh, and for all this, there is a federation which guides all these galaxies, not just our galaxy, right? But multiple galaxies. And there is a federation, and he represents that federation. So we are not talking about a person who is like uh, president of USA or prime minister of India. We are talking about a president of all the galaxies put together, a person from that federation, right? So it is. So he's such a great person, but who has come to live with us as a common man, without any magic, just common person lived with us, and we should be so grateful that such high um, evalued person lived with us like a common man. We are so fortunate that we lived with him in the same timelines as him, right? So we are very, 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 very fortunate, I would say. uh, and From the experience perspective, I've shared multiple times, again, as I told before. So what I thought today is we'll do some kind of an interactive session. I do not want to keep talking myself. So, so how many of you have heard Kahoot? So it's like a small quiz kind of a program. What I'll be arranging now, and for each, and all the questions are so simple. Don't get tensed. Uh, just a couple of suggestions. All the people, I think there are 20 of us, so each of us can log in. I'll share right now. But all the people who have been meditating for past at least 2 years or so, you should answer that question after 5 seconds, because I see there are some new people also. So I want to give them a choice to answer first for 5 seconds and then you can answer. So total, you'll have about 20 seconds time to answer each. And there are some questions where at 30 seconds. So I first want to give 5 seconds for the newcomer and then you do. This is like a fastest finger first, that type of thing. So easy questions, but you should be able to answer fast. But first 5 seconds, give to new people, please. Okay. So let me share. And for each of the question, we'll talk through when we have the answer. Let me know when you see my screen. You're able to see? So everybody, you can go to kahoot.it or you can use a Kahoot app and it will ask for your PIN. So you can give this PIN. You can also use this QR code to join. And when it is asking for a PIN, give this PIN and it will ask for a nickname. So I would suggest put your name, your favorite name, whatever, or your own name. So I was planning to give about 2 gifts, one for the winner, one for the runner-up. And the winner would get Tulsi Dalam book, which is in English, and runner-up would get Patriji Answers, an English book. So I'll wait for a few more minutes so that everybody can join. If you have difficulties, please put it in the chat and we can help you log in. All the questions are so simple, my dear friends. So don't get panic. Either we'll learn.
Can you please send the link in the chat?
What link? Kahoot.it, right? That's all. Okay, let me put that. Can somebody put, because I'm sharing my screen, Kahoot.it. That's all is the link.
Lakshmi put it.
Yeah, okay, thank you. As I'm saying, it's very easy, friends. Please don't hesitate to join. Because I just wanted to be a little interactive rather than me just talking. That is the reason of arranging this. But most of the points, what is already covered by Rupaji in that first few principles she talked about. So
It's a test if they were hearing me.
okay, I'll just give another 1 minute and then we'll start. So when you are answering, you don't have to be in Zoom. You can just be in this site called kahoot.it, because there you'll see the question as well as you'll have an option to select an answer. So you don't have to be in Zoom if you are operating both in the same system. Okay, I think we are good. So I'm going to start. So as I said, friends who are little seniors, please, 5 seconds, give it for the newcomers. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, my dear friends. Okay, so here you go. What is the full name of Patriji, my dear friends? So you have 4 options here. Subhash Chandra Patriji, Subhash Patriji, Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji, Dr. Pitamaha Brahmarshi Patriji. Okay. Yeah. So there are different answers, but the right answer is Dr. Pitamaha Brahmarshi Patriji. So some of them might not know that he also got a doctorate. So that is the reason probably you missed it, and that is why I wanted to cover. So his actual name was Subhash Patriji before he came to meditation, but when he realized, and then when he started teaching, and when he grew few masters, then he was given the name Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji. And then over years, when he created multiple Brahmarshis, then he became a title called Pitama. This is all, my dear friends. See, these titles are given with greater organizations. When they pull up, they say spiritual organizations, they see the type of service, what each individual does, and accordingly they give these titles, right? And then based on the as we know him as a scientist, right? Because he has done so much of experiments on spirituality. That's where he got this title called doctor, right? Doctorate. So he got doctorate in the spirituality, the service of spirituality. So and then when he got into that, even when he became a Patriji, he gave up his individuality, right? So there is no more Subhash in the name. So he is showing a representation saying there is no that thyself, right? It is all one. When we understand it is all one, then there is no me. That is why there is no Subhash at the end, right? Dr. Pitama Brahmarshi Patriji, right? So that's how it got evolved. I just wanted to share. And thanks for the people who have rightly answered. And let's see who is in the leaderboard for now. Oh, nice. So don't worry about all these friends. It's just fun. Okay. And here comes your second question. What was Patriji's profession before becoming a spiritual teacher? Was he a scientist, professor, sales officer, musician? Before spiritual teacher, my dear friends. We all know he was working. Wow. Beautiful. Sales officer, because we all know he was working in a Coromandel Fertilizer. It's an agricultural company and he had an agricultural based degree. And he was as a sales officer before coming into spiritual service. Wow, 10 people answered it right. Shush, still leading. Wow, new name, Amrita ji came up to the third place. Good. Let's go, my dear friends, to the third question. This is the easiest one. What meditation method did Patriji teach? So as I said, this is fastest finger first, right? So no doubt, there is no other type of meditation. It is always the only meditation which is right is Anapanasati. And Rupaji also explained as one of the guiding principles. So thank you. Thank you very much for answering this right. Shows on fire. Okay. Friends, still, I would suggest 5-second rule for the newcomers, please. Okay, question 4. According to Patriji, which one of the habit is most important for spiritual growth? following rituals, worshipping deities, reading spiritual books, donating to temples. For spiritual growth, my dear friends. Wow. So everybody agrees with this. So basically, again, as per the Rupaji's explanation, right? We was in the guiding principles, reading spiritual books. What happens reading spiritual books is when you practice this, you practice meditation. What you get is highest amount of energy, and with that energy, you could do various things which are not possible through normal people, right? And when you see that, when you have that extra power, like for example, simple intuition building, right? Having that sixth sense, all these are extra powers, my dear friends, which you gain through meditation. But what will happen is, if you do not read the spiritual books, you'll build up the ego that you are something special. When you read the spiritual books, when you see people doing great things with that spiritual knowledge, then your ego is not grown up. That is the reason why we need to read spiritual books, because there are so many people done so many experiments with this energy, right? So it will keep us grounded when we read the spiritual books, right? That is the reason why Patriji recommended to read a lot of spiritual books. Thank you for answering it right. Let's see. Oh, Dev's got into the lead. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, why are pyramids used in meditation according to Patriji, my dear friends? They connect to cosmic energy, they amplify sound, they symbolize wisdom, and they bring good luck. Hopefully, I should see all 13. Yep, right. We all know why these pyramids are built. These are energy centers, my dear friends. I always give these examples as how you have Tesla charging stations every here and there. We will go into a stage where we would need pyramids every nook and corner, my dear friends. That is how we'll get into. That is the preparation what Patriji has envisioned. That is why he wanted pyramids everywhere, because we'll get into a stage we'll go into a stage of that depression, that we'll go into a stage of where we will need quick energy, as how we need Tesla charging, right? Quick, first 20 minutes, 80% charge. Similarly, you need that quick charging stations. This is where pyramids help, and we'll get into that stage quickly, and we should be ready for that to provide that kind of centers to humankind. So that is why pyramids are so important, my dear friends. As Atlanta Pyramid project, whatever is coming up, it is so important to get it into action so quickly, because that is the need of the hour, right? So that is what Patriji has envisioned, and we also are experiencing the same. So that is why this is needed. Okay, let's see. They're still on the lead. Okay, let's go to the next question. What lifestyle practice did Patriji strongly recommend? Of course, right? Chanting daily, fasting regularly, vegetarian living, temple visits. Yeah, again, no doubts about this. Again, as Rupaji explained, in one of the principles today. This is what we also need to know, my dear friends, that compassion towards every living being. Now, Patriji also talked about various evolutions, right? Like through mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and then the human kingdom. That is the kind of evolution, and we are responsible to all the kingdoms below, my dear friends, because that is how the we gone through those stages, and we have come to a stage which means as how you are you were a kid and now you became a parent, you are responsible to take care of the kid, right? Because you have gone through that stage of the kid, teen, adult. Now you are in a stage where you should take care of the kids. Similarly, the mineral kingdom, vegetarian kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the animal kingdom, we are responsible of taking care of all these kingdoms, my dear friends. And how can you harm them, right? So that is where the compassion comes into play, and that is why Patriji was leading to take this vegetarian living. Okay. Okay, let's see. Dev's still leading. Next question. Which quote best represents Patriji's philosophy, my dear friends? Seek the master outside, follow one path only, no judgments, no complaints. Silence is the only teacher. Mauna. Mauna is also one of the principles what Rupaji spoke today. Is that the answer? Last 4 seconds, 3 seconds. One more answer. Yep. Oh, see, I misguided for the 3 people who answered silence, right? So the philosophy he always recommended to be no judgments, no complaints, my dear friends. So this again, from my experience perspective, this is an outcome of what comes through practice of meditation. So there is a little bit of awareness you need to ensure that you don't do, but this is a built-in feature which gets built when you practice meditation automatically. That is the beauty, right? For complaints, we need to practice a little bit so that we ensure that we don't get into that kind of an situation where we get into arguments and then because everything is an experience. Everybody who is doing is to best of their ability and capabilities, right? So there is no question of complaining, right? And that is the experience what they are giving, and that is the experience what we wanted to do, and that's where we take everything as no complaints and no judgments. So when you practice this, or in uh, when you put this into your daily life, it becomes so peaceful, my dear friends, and so joyful automatically if these two are eliminated from your daily life. It becomes so simple, your life. That's personal experience. Okay, let's see. Dev's still holding. Seemaji has come up. Good. Okay, let's see the next question, friends. What is the name of Grand Meditation Pyramid near Hyderabad? Buddha Pyramid, Pyramid Valley International, Mahameru Pyramid, Maheshwara Mahapyramid. This is near Hyderabad, my dear friends, not the one in Bangalore. Buddha Pyramid was the first pyramid which was built in Karnool. So here the question was with Mega Pyramid, which was near Hyderabad, which is Maheshwara Mahapyramid, my dear friends. Pyramid Valley International is the one which is Bangalore. So just for new people who doesn't know. Oh, Amritaji. Nice. Thanks, Divs, for holding that 5 seconds.
Yay.
Good. Okay, let's go. What was Patriji's vision for humanity? A world of organized religion, a world guided by gurus, a world of self-realized masters through meditation, a world ruled by peace treaties. Again, no brainer here. Perfect. I think a couple of them did not do it in a timely fashion, but yes, this is where the quote where Patriji says Dhyana Jagat, Pyramid Jagat, Shakahara Jagat, right? So motive is to have self-realized masters, right? There is no guru to be followed. Everybody has to realize themselves that they are gods. So that's where his philosophy is. Very nice. Let's see. Nice, Amritaji, holding it up. Good. Okay, let's go next one. This is a true or false. Is 18 guiding principles defined only for PSSM masters? Is it true or false? Is this 18 guiding principles? Whatever we talked about, right? Rupaji was talking about. So true, my dear friends. So, so true with the false, right? So, PSSM has defined these principles, but it is not that it is only to be followed by PSSM masters. So, I want to give it a little different perspective of what Rupaji explained about these 18 guiding principles, right? They are divided. So there are various aspects you could see. One of the perspective is these principles are divided into 3 categories, right? So like what are our 3 categories, how we are split into? We have a body, we have a mind, and we have a soul. All these 3 combined together, we are living in this planet Earth, right? So for anything, what you want to do is you want to excel, right? Like say suppose you are driving a car, you want to excel in driving the car, right? That always that is your intention, that you'll have to beautifully drive, no hassles, with no tensions, nothing. That is your intention, to have a excel in driving. Or you are cooking, you want to excel in cooking, right? That is always your intention is. Similarly, when you want to lead your life in a beautiful excelled manner, then he said you need to, if you can follow all these 3 categories at the body level, at the mind level, and at the soul level, then you can enhance your living, right? So he has given all the 6 principles which are at soul level, right? Where you do your anapanasati meditation, full moon meditation, all types of meditation. What will enhance is your soul level. And all your book reading, experience sharing, all this are at the mind level enhancements. If you practice all this, your mind is at the enhanced level. And finally, at the body level, he said no dressing, no makeups or nothing, no exchange of money. All these at the body level. If you practice this, you will enhance your body living, right? So these 3 categories is split about 6 on one, and then 8 on one, and 4 on one, right? That is how this different perspective. What Rupaji explained was in a different perspective, but this is of a different perspective. I thought I'll share that. Okay. So these 18 guiding principles are given to anybody, whoever wants to follow, to enhance their living at all these 3 levels, both body, mind, and soul. Okay. Thank you. So let's see who got it. Still Amritaji. Good. Okay. Next question. What is the first step to begin mindfulness meditation? Clasping hands and crossing legs, focusing on the breath, sit in a comfortable posture, closing eyes. What is the first step, my dear friends? Again, very simple. We always give these directions, right? Oh, wow. So, focusing on the breath is the final step, what you will do while sitting for meditation. You always sit in a comfortable posture. That is the first step. You allow your body to be as comfortable as possible, right? And then you'll clasp your hands, cross your legs, then you close your eyes. Now focus on the breath, right? So those are the steps. Of course, focusing on the breath is the final step of meditation, but the first step, what we asked, is to sit in a comfortable posture. Okay, let's see who got it. Ooh, one wrong answer will push you down. Anjali ji on the top. Seema ji on the third. Wow, nice. Okay, next one, friends. What does mindfulness help to reduce? Of course, you'll reduce your hunger, your laziness gets reduced, your sleep gets reduced, your stress level gets reduced. What is most effective is the question. Wow, beautiful, guys. So, of course, everything is under control, but the stress, because you are practicing meditation to have your mind be with you. So, mind gets into trouble only when it is always either in the past or in the future, because it does not keep on cribbing on the past and then does not know what happens in the future. That is where the stress is. But if you keep the mind practice at the present level, then there is no stress, because you are always at the awareness level. You know what's happening. So when there is light in the room, my dear friends, no fear, right? But when there is no light switched off, then it is dark. Then you have that fear, anxiety. Oh, what am I going to step on, and things like that, right? That is where the stress comes up. So when there is a light, which meaning the meditation brings you light onto your mind, which is then have brightness, then there is no stress. So right, straightforward answer. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next. Who made it? Wow, all three supermasters have come to the top now. Okay, let's see the next one. Which sport Patriji excels in? Cricket, table tennis, chess, all of the above. A little tricky one, but let's see. He loves cricket, right? You know, if you know him, if there is any match, he watches till the end, last ball. All of the above. That's where I said it was tricky. Wow, chess was the right answer. There's only 1% because he excels in it. He just can play with his left hand, with his toe. He can do anything. That's why I said excels, right? Table tennis also is a very good player, but he excels in the chess. His movements, his steps, everything. He'll be doing he'll be reading a book and still play chess. He'll be talking to somebody, taking a class, but still play chess. The other whole group, they'll be sit and discuss and they'll take a move, and he does his move in about 1 or 2 seconds most of the times. Most of the times. So chess is the right answer, my dear friends. Let's see who got that first. Oh, Atili ji, you got it right. Then nobody can beat Aniliji probably. But let's see. I think next one is the last question, my dear friends. Which was the most frequently used five-finger concept by Patriji? Mind, body, intellect, soul, higher self. This has 30 seconds, my dear friends. Just read. Body, mind, intellect, soul, higher self. Intellect, body, mind, soul, higher self. None of the above. Which is the right one? Patriji, most of the concepts he explains with his five fingers. And this is one such concept. Oh, this made confused to people. But the right answer is body, mind, intellect, soul, higher self. That's how he always explains. Because the first thing is body, my dear friends. Without body, there is no entry to this planet, right? So body is the first, and then mind builds up. Then you enhance your mind to make it intellect, and of course you have your soul, and then your higher self. This is how he explains normally. So there's a little tricky one, but hopefully this made some difference onto the leaderboard. Let's see. Who is on the third place? Arun Allah Durgam on the third place. Second place, Lakshmi ji. And first is, oh, give a big clap. So, and then runners up, they're coming as Divis, and I didn't see the last name, sorry. Okay, so Anjali ji first place, Lakshmi ji the second place. So that's about little brief on what Patriji's teachings about. Hope you had little fun and also some learnings. Cool. So thank you, friends. Thanks for participating. Yeah, I know it's time, but if you have any questions on the topic, we can take now, or we can listen to Anila and then we can go to the questions, whatever feels like, Rupaji. Back to you.
Thank you, Sreekanth Garu. That was a very nice way of explaining about Patriji. That was really nice because some of the questions were easy, but some were tricky.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on how quickly people answer because I was answering, but still shush and divs were very quick. But thank you, Sreekanth Garu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anila, I'll mute myself.
Actually, I've totally forgot what I have to talk. So much involved in the questions and answers. Okay. Hi, everyone. My deepest gratitude to our Guruji. So I feel I'm so blessed spending with him and hosting him 5 times, I think, in my house. Patriji is not a man, he's a mission. I feel that always. A mission of Dhyana Jagat, Pyramid Jagat, and Shakahara Jagat. It's his goal, and we have to follow and make success. I mean, not success, we have to reach to that goal. So, Sreekanth covered all the topics, most of the topics of the teachings, basically teachings and about the Patriji. Most of the times I spend with Patriji always in the kitchen because as a host, I spend with him in the kitchen and preparations and all. What I observed him in that is very focused and very energetic, and I mean, He is master of all things. Mm, it's a very learning from him each and every thing what he is. We have to. He is in the kitchen or in any place. How he acts in the feeling. I mean emotions while cooking. Also, I'm totally talking about the cooking only. It comes to all the aspects, but I'm taking the cooking. Uh, yeah. So I mean, he he loves cooking, and always when he comes at any late or any time when he come to home after a big session, he is not tired. He wants to cook again. That time, one time, and I asked him, "Why, Patri sir, uh, you want to cook it this in this situation also? We are there to help you. We are there to cook. Why you want to get into that in that tired position? Also, you want to cook?" He said that that cooking with energy masters cooking is very important to feed the people. So that time he gave me a concept as a kind of five finger. He always give everything in the five finger concepts. I think everybody knows about that. That time also he told me about the finger concept. Like one is tamo food, one rajo food, sattvic food, Suddha Sattvic food, and Nirguna food. So, Tamo food is the food who prepared with the Tamo gunas. Who is having the Tamo gunas prepared by them is a Tamo food. Means basically Tamo guna is we'll call it as a we'll tell right roti kapda makan. They will see only on those things. They don't care about any other things. Whatever they will go to the violence, they go to anything for to to get those things. So basically, if it will comes to non-vegetarian people who cook non-vegetarian, who eat non-vegetarian, if they cook the food, it will comes under the tamoguna, tamo food. And if if the people who consumes that food, they will have a blocks. I mean, they have blocks on their spiritual growth. So please avoid that. He always says that we should not eat in the non-vegetarian cooking in the restaurants also. So comes sex and comes under the Rajo food. It's Rajo food is basically Rajogunas. Basically it's who it's a materialistic world. Is who desires for the materialistic wealth and highly competitive. They always thinks about how to gain powers on others like that. If they cook, whoever eats their food will come will get those qualities also, and they will go into that mode zone. And so whoever eats that, this is also little bit of blockages in our spiritual role, because always you will think about the same qualities as a materialist qualities. So, so please avoid that also while cooking. And when comes to third one is comes under sattvic food. Sattvic food is with us main sattvic qualities, is based on pure vegetarian, um, who cooks the food with more purity, compassion, and harmony. Is basically sattvic food comes the vegetarian, fruits, vegetables, and all the pulses and nuts like that. Um, if you cook the food, if you eat the food, who cook with as a vegetarian with the sattvic qualities, that food will digest very fastly and gives you the energy, and it will make your mind very calm, and it will lead your spiritual journey faster. And next comes on the Shuddha Sattvic. This is the food with high vibration. This Shuddha Sattvic food is the food prepared by the meditators who always in the in the breath, be with the breath. So always they don't have any other thoughts when you are cooking, and every time you have to be, they are in their breath. So they have high vibrations. If they high vibrated people cook the food is also becomes a very vibrational, and if you consume the that food, you also get that high vibrations, and that leads to your spiritual growth very fast. And finally comes to the last one is nirguna food. This is beyond these three, all the other three gunas. um, we rarely found this kind of nirgunas. They are very higher state of beings, like our Patriji. Uh, that's why he wants always to cook and energize the people, for all the people who are with him. He wants to energize them with the food. And he always says that all the meditators who are the seniors are just doing meditation for a long time, they have to cook and feed all of the people and all the occasions. That's why in our PSSM, we always wants to feed all our other people who are new people. We want to feed them with our energy. Is This is where I have learned up from the Patriji. From then, I want to be in part of every cooking, and I want to be the to host all the people. Mm, so I think it's time. Sreekanth, you can take it. So,
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Anila, for sharing that. Yeah, I just wanted to share. See, we always think from what kind of food we should eat, right? But Patriji is looking at what type of person should also feed,
yeah.
right? So that is also so important than just eating. So here, even from the first level of food we talked about, what was it?
Tamo food.
Tamo food. There also there is no question of non-vegetarian is not a food at all, right? For vegetarian food, but people who are eating non-vegetarian, cooking becomes a tamo food, right? So that is so important to understand that uh, it's not question of how you are eating, from where you are eating also plays a major role in our spiritual growth. So that's why when we stop all this and when we follow without even garlic, then we can see growth of spirituality much faster than without any blocks if you follow these examples as what Patriji explained. And whenever he explains, as he said, he always explains with five finger concepts. And Anila took the right topic today as one of the principle. What
Principle.
Rupaji
Yeah.
explained is about food.
Yeah.
So that got related to that probably. So
When this
over to you, Rupaji.
when this Tamil food, I recollected one example when I am hearing to the Patri's session. He said that in when the Gandhiji is in a jail, most of the people will know this thing, but I'm telling again, when Gandhiji is in a jail. Uh, one day he after eating the lunch he is getting lot of stomach ache and he's got the motions and all, and then he called the cook who prepared the food. That is just it is a vegetarian food only with roti and aloo curry. But when he asked for the cook, are you cooking every day? Then the cook told, no, every day is the cook is different. Today I came to cook because he is went outside, so I cooked for the food. And then he asked, are you a vegetarian? He said no, he's not a vegetarian, but he cooked. As a Gandhiji is he's a very pure and he is a very high energy being, and with a vegetarian, I mean, follows sattvic food, and he ate the food prepared by the non-vegetarian. He got into the stomach. So that's how that affect you when you eat the non cooked by the non-vegetarian is also, and we have that I remember. I just heard that topic and I got into that and I told. So. So that's why we have to always eat pure vegetarian and sattvic food. That is a sattvic food cooked by ourselves, and with the who are we have to eat the food cooked by the uh, energy people. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Anila. Over to you, Rupaji.
thank you.
Thank you so much. It actually goes back to the story I told you about Maya Tiwari. She cooked her own food. She
Yes.
didn't depend on anybody else. She
So,
experimented, she cooked, she ate, and she healed herself. Had she
yes.
depended on somebody else to cook for her, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Thank you so much for that wisdom. And I'm sure all the meditators who are here would agree with us, because we become very sensitive as we start meditating more and more. We become very sensitive to what we are eating, and it really shows up in our meditation the next day morning. So thank you so much for that sharing. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining. It went a little beyond our time, but it was worth it. We enjoyed playing the games, and we enjoyed Anila's cooking tips too. Patriji's cooking tips, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave so a lot of tips. I will share next time whenever.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link. I do not know why we had issues today, but it's the same Zoom link and we'll be good to go tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Sreekanth Garu. Thank you, Anila Garu. It was wonderful. No, always these masters come with some gift and they'll ensure that we experience Patriji.
Yeah.
Last time you showed us the photos of Patriji, and now you made us realize more about Patriji.
In a very
So,
fun way.
yeah, and this cooking also. We
Mm.
have heard about energized food or like people who else, Satvikam and Suddha Satvikam. The other one is like, oh, Nirguna is something very, very new. Thanks for sharing, Anila Garu. And always, if she talks about Patriji and the way because mostly he will be feeding people or else serving people either wisdom or food, right? And she is in the other part. Wisdom, Sreekanth Garu is there, and Anila is the other part, food. So both the things which Patriji served, they were there. And always pleasure to listen to these both masters.
Thank you, ma.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi garu. Thank you.
Anyone wants to share? Or people are leaving? Okay. Thank you.